Well, I think cutting rates will really depend on the overall liquidity position. So at least in the short run, the liquidity positions should improve now. Yeah. And hopefully if deposit rates come down, it will translate into lower MCLR. But at this point of time, we haven't changed our deposit rates. So the only impact really on MCLR really is your cost of CRR and SLR. So if this additional CRR comes down, well, to the extent that CRR comes down and the cost of CRR in the equation reduces, one can expect an MCLR reduction only to somewhat that extent, not more really.
Okay. What about the entire total deposits that you have received, be it in term deposits or also be it in terms of CASA deposits? And most importantly for Kotak Bank, so far you have retained the 6% savings deposit rate. Will there be any change in that?
Well, at this point of time, we're not really looking at a change in the 6% because what we're finding is at 6%, it is pretty comfortable for customers. On a term deposit, let's say you get 675. So generally, or on a mutual fund, you'd probably get 625 or 6.5. So customers find it easy to just leave money back in savings account. And from our point of view, cost-wise, it doesn't make too much of a difference. And incremental customer acquisition still is pretty good. Incremental accretion to CASA still is pretty good. Hence, it just justifies the 6%. If there was a cut on the policy rates, we probably might have had to relook at it. But at this point of time, it doesn't make sense, really.
In terms of the demonetization, we are hearing from various corporates as well that there is definite impact in terms of the economic activity. You are present in agri, tractors, CV, CE, cars, SME sector as well. Are you seeing these segments getting impacted? What is the kind of reduction in the credit growth?
I think there is an impact. There is an impact undoubtedly. I think it's probably far more on the SME side rather than on the corporate side in the beginning. But the percentages vary, and I'd put the percentage varying anywhere between 10%, the impact of this, 10% reduction to, let's say, about a 30% order reduction. And I think the reduction is far more pronounced in the luxury, discretionary consumption stroke asset category, really, less so on your normal goods category. And the impact is probably higher in places or markets where there was a higher cash component, really. So let's say if you look at cars, for example, and Ahmedabad has got impacted much more than, let's say, Mumbai, for example. But cars per se have got impacted,
Overall, if I look at your entire book, has there been any asset quality issues so far in November? And how do you see it shaping up in the month of December and going ahead?
Mm-hmm. Well, November's not been too bad, because actually November has been probably slightly better because we've had customers who would normally not have paid also come and pay you through your old currency notes, really, the SBNs, really. So November's been pretty okay. I think the real test and what we had to watch out for is how does December really look like before we can say whether there is a negative or no impact out of it. But I suspect there will be some amount of impact negatively.
Okay. My last question to you. Do you think that this entire demonetization impact, if we are looking at the GDP growth estimates by RBI, it's just 7.1%. That's a cut of 50 bips. Internally, even you have your own estimates in terms of the growth. Do you think that the growth impact on the economy would be far more than even what RBI is estimating?
Well, RBI actually has said out of that 50, the impact of demonetization is only 0.15, mind you. The rest of it is essentially a follow-through of what happened in Q2. Well, the way it is, it looks probably that the shorter-term impact may be higher. That's a tough field. But it's difficult to say because, I think the impact is more profound at the SME level. I'm not really sure unless we finally see the numbers at the corporate end, how much it is impacting corporates really.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETnow.